Right, guys. Hello. This is the introduction to the actual exploring the context design page. Okay, so over the last week, you've been going over what to do on the mind maps for the context, and hopefully you've managed to get all three mind maps completed now. In this lesson today, I'm going to go over how to actually construct the page for the exploring the context. So this is going through the mind maps, where to place them, how to analyze them, and how to evaluate the actual page. Okay, so I'm just going to share with you the PowerPoint for this. I'll make this available for you through the Teams page. Okay, so hopefully in a minute you should get me come up. I think there I am. Right, okay. So this is just a walkthrough of how to set up the page and what to do when you're in it. The template that I'm going to give you within this is a guidance to everything that you need to know within the coursework page. If you follow the guidance that is given to you, it will make it a lot easier to achieve your tag, if not go above it. The guidance that is set out, that I've set these up for, are aimed at 8 to 9 grades. So if you go a little bit beneath it, you're going to be getting the 7. Okay, so you should be getting the one above your tag if you follow these grades. One thing you need to remember when you start this is that the template is not to be copied. Okay, it's not to be copied word for word in certain sections. Everything on there needs to be put into your own words, needs to be put into your own way of setting it up. Okay, whether that means change a box from down the bottom to the top. Before we start off, I've had a couple of emails from some students saying that they're finding the first two contexts okay to go with. So the music one is the one that is starting to trip people up a little bit. Now I've just put this together quickly, and just to give you an idea of what to be looking at. So the music one is something where you can be thinking about ways to enhance the sound of the music, ways to enhance the listening to it, and also maybe instrument storage. So the first one, the Who, I've looked at older adults. So people that are maybe 40 years plus, 30 years plus, those kind of people. Young adults, so 19 years to 30 years old. Teenagers, split these up into two sections, so 13 to 15 and 16 to 19. I've done that because 13 to 15-year-olds can be quite immature. 16 to 19-year-olds can be quite mature. So there's clear differences in what a 13 to 15-year-old would want and a 16 to 19-year-old would want. Same goes for the bracket of children. So young toddlers, 4 to 8-year-olds, and then 9 to 12-year-olds are very different people. Okay, when you come to class children as people. I've left that as that because you might want to elaborate on what I've just said. So 30-year-olds, why is it 30-year-old and not 30 to 70-year-olds? Okay, so give me some information about these barriers here. On the what, I've put, this could be what is going on. Okay, just generally, what is going on? So what I've put, this could be the musical instrument storage. What musical instrument storage could be used? We could have piano storage, things to store things on top of pianos. Guitar storage. So when, instead of that thing where you put your guitar into when you finish playing it, could that be revamped? Violins, things like violin storage, I don't know, flute storage, whatever instrument you come to use, you come to play. Okay, could it be stored somewhere? Could it be stored in a box? okay, while you're using it. Listening to music. So when you're listening to music outside, is there something that could be used outside? So the camping element, when you come to a festival, indoors, you've got speakers, headphones. Could they be stored? Is there something that the headphones could be stored onto? Okay, to make it maybe a more enjoyable experience. I've put the watching music. So are there things inside a music venue that could enhance the experience of the user? So maybe going into a music venue, is there something to maybe rest upon, okay, while you're watching it, because it's always standing up in a live gig venue. That leads on to the where. So the live music in the home. Whereabouts in the home could this be used? In the living room, the bedroom, the kitchen. Something used in the bedroom could be much different to something used in the living room. The live music venue, you could actually give me some live music venues that you've been to or that you could go to. A live music venue in the field, so a festival experience. When would this be used? At the weekends. So in the festival, you could put in here the afternoons. So it could be at school, could actually use this at school. In the morning, so you could have a quick session on the guitar and then put it down in the morning. Okay, does that need to be different to what you would use in the afternoon? Could be quick access during the day. So it has to be something that can be picked up. It's all plugged in and it just goes straight on into the guitar. In the nighttime, is it different in the nighttime than it is in the daytime? Okay, are you going to be using it as much in the nighttime? Who knows? The why, this could be a lack of storage space. Noise problems, that's why you've got to enhance something, enhance the user's experience. There could be interference from other people. Okay, so you're doing this to prevent interference from your younger sister, your younger brother. Okay, the lack of storage space really does make it a slog to get an enjoyable play of the guitar. Okay, so just think about those things. The function, just repeating what we've said before. So it is to enhance the sound, to store the musical instrument. Okay, that's going on the actual thinking about what it is you're going to be doing. I said before in the last video that I made is that there is going to be some repetition within these areas. Okay, you can't have everything just completely independent to one another. Okay, there is going to be repetition. So you need to make sure you're elaborating on all these. You're not just having the same things said over and over again. There needs to be some elaborating on the points. Okay, so you've got this live music venue here with the where. Now give me some examples of live music venues. Give me some description of a live music venue here. Don't just leave it at live music venue. There has to be more description given. Okay, give me descriptions to fill up this white space going down here. Okay, so that's just a quick run through of the music area. Okay, so the music one for the context. If you have any more problems with this one, then we're going to have to leave it until you come into school next week, and we'll go through it. I'll try and get in and we'll go through it on a one-to-one. Now, going on to the actual page where these mind maps will sit in. Every single one of your pages needs to follow these rules. Every single one of your coursework pages needs to go by these rules. All pages must have a size 10 font if it's created on an A4 sheet. If you change it to an A3 sheet, then it must be a size 12 font. All pages must have an introduction at the top of the page, and it must have a conclusion at the bottom of the page. All pages must have something we call the next step, and I'll go into that next on the next slide. All pages must use the same font. Okay, so you only need to change the style of the font to enhance a title maybe, or to enhance a section. A big wodge of writing does not need to be changed. The font does not need to be changed. Okay, it's going to look a bit haphazard when it is all put together. If you have different fonts, different size fonts, different fonts being used, okay? You need to keep the same layout. So if you've put a decoration, so if you've put a decorative page, that same decoration needs to be used all the way through. Okay, so all the way through the coursework needs to be used like that. So if you've used a grey background and a black font, that needs to be used all the way through. If it's just white on black, then all the way through. There needs to be minimal white space on the page. You need to be looking at filling all of the page up with valuable information. Okay, then there can't really be that much white space left. If you do have white space, it looks to the examiner that you've not got that much thought process going on in here. You'll see from this example that I've used from 2 years ago now. You've already seen what was given last year. Okay, so the coursework just gone from the year 11s. I think those ones just gone from the year 11s is a lot better than this one, but this is just a good example of probably a grade 8. I would give this. You can see they've got an introduction at the top of the page. So this is their exploring the themes. This is their first page. They've got the introduction. They've got a brief synopsis of why they used these mind maps. What were these mind maps going to give them? They've got their initial thoughts on the themes. They've looked into certain design areas, so certain design eras. I don't think you maybe needed that, but it's no harm in going into it. A key area is the possible consumers, so the markets, the target area, who is going to be using this. They've gone into a little bit more information about certain key areas that could be using this. Okay, that is valuable. Common places, so locations where this could be used, that is used within this here, and that is again valuable information. You can see I don't think this page is laid out that well, because it doesn't really read from left to right as you naturally would. You've got the mind map here, and a mind map here. It's really valuable if you have all the mind maps gathered together all in one go. This next slide, I'm going to go through how I would want, ideally, the page to be laid out. Top corner, you have the Exploring the Context title. So you always have the title placed in the same place on every single page that you do. Next to it, in the top right-hand corner of the page, is a summary of what's going to be going on within the page. So this is just 2 sentences of what it is you're going to be talking about in the page. So you could say here on the Exploring the Context page, I'm going to be looking at the different contexts, but also looking at how these contexts really represent my initial ideas. Okay, just looking into the locations, looking at the different people who are going to be using it. And that's all you need to put in that top. The next is a bit of a detailed introduction. So here it is going into talking about what it is you're going to be doing. So you're going to be using mind maps. You're going to be looking at different locations. You're going to be looking at different people that could be using these contexts, and how it is that can be really used to your advantage. Down the left hand side, all I want you to do, and this is for everybody, I want you to be just copying the OCR design contexts. So 3 sections, this left hand side split up into 3 different sections. The 3 different OCR contexts that you've been studying with the mind maps. Okay, put them in here. So put a little introduction here. So these are the different contexts that were given to us from OCR. Number 1, so-and-so, number 2, so-and-so, number 3, so-and-so. And that is one section given, and box it off. Okay, put a box around it and clearly identify that that is the OCR design context with a title at the top. Following on from that, you're going to have your mind maps. So there is a clear link. So you've got the introduction to the page, then the context, then you're exploring those contexts. So exploring those contexts, the mind maps, and that is where you explain in here what it is, why you would be using a mind map. What is the bonus of using the mind map? Okay, you can clearly get quick fire ideas as to what it is we're using this for. Okay, I went through the reasons why we use the mind maps in the last video, so you can use some of that ideology within this here. Some people might want to do the 2 mind maps that they don't really want to be using, and then place more of an emphasis to make it bigger, the mind map that they want to use. So we can clearly see that you've investigated all the possible areas. So all the areas in mind map number 1, mind map number 2, and then mind map number 3 is bigger. You could place it in red. You could put a border around it, and just make it more of an emphasis that that is going to be your chosen one. This box here, I want you to give the reasons why you are going to be why you are going to choose that mind map. So why you are going to choose that context. Box number 5, you need to be looking into and give clear reasons why you would be choosing this. Okay, is it something that you have a clear interest in? Okay, do you have some sort of affiliation with music? Okay, do you enjoy music? Do you have an interest in what it is stated in context 2 and context 1? Okay, and clearly state that in here. This just needs to be quite brief. If you have more information to go into, then please put this in here. Box number 6 is the locations. So already we're starting to think about, we've gone from the My Maps, so we've looked into all the possible contexts. Now we've chosen in box number 5 the My Map that we're going to be, so the context that we're going to be doing. Number 6, box number 6, this is going to be thinking about where we could be using this. So if we've looked into the music, are we going to be using this maybe in the house, maybe outside? So in this box, we could be looking at, we could be putting pictures in of different places that this could be used in. We could be looking at a little maybe analysis of those places. Box number 7 is the target markets. So we need to be going back to our My Maps, looking at those who boxes. So the part where you put the different people that it could be looked at. Take the 3 biggest target areas. You might have looked at maybe 6 or 7 who's in here. I want you to just narrow this down a little bit more now. So we've got 3 different areas. So you could have a little bit more information about these areas here. Put pictures in. Okay, you might have more of an affiliation with this. So you could have people that you know might need to be using this. Okay, and then talk a little bit more about these people. You might actually have information that you could be putting in here. You're not going into specifics, so you're not going to be choosing the particular person that you're going to be designing this product for. These are still general people, okay, but there are thousands of people that could be used for this. The bottom boxes in here are the conclusions. So the conclusions and the evaluations within the page. You need to be looking back on all the information that you've placed within these boxes. So looking at the targets, looking at why you looked at different locations, thinking about what those My Maps, why you went into using those My Maps and the advantages of using the My Map. Okay, you were able to quickly fire off different ideas, and that has been quite beneficial for you. So you look at that and you place that within the conclusion. You feed off all that information and you evaluate why it has been useful for you to be looking at that. The final thing, what I mentioned a couple of slides ago, every single page has a next page box. Every single one of your coursework pages will have this box in here, always in the bottom right corner. We've gone from looking at the title, we've got the title, and it always reads from left to right. We will never have this next page box in the top corner, okay, in the top left-hand corner, because we don't really care about the next page when we're looking at the title. We will be looking at a gradual progression through your thought process. Okay, this is what is known as the iterative design process. Okay, it's the gradual progression through your thinking about what it is you're looking at. So you look at the introduction, you talk us through what it is you're going to be doing. You go from what it is you've done, the mind maps, and then you choose one of those mind maps. You then talk about what it is within that context that specific context you could be doing. Okay, possible things you could be doing at, the locations, the markets you're looking at. You then evaluate that, conclude. And then the next page, what it is, the thing you're going to be looking at on the next page. So the next page is going to be the potential user, the design brief. So you're going to be looking at, you specify the user, you specify the specific person, the user that is going to be your main focus. The design brief, you are going to be looking at a specific product, a specific problem that it is you're going to be looking at. Okay. When you come to do this, I have created what it is I've just said into a help sheet. Now this is what you're going to be given. So I will make this available, this page here, available to you on the Teams area, and you will be able to download that as a PDF or a PowerPoint, and it will be given to you. And that will be yours to work from, to print off and work. Use this while you're doing this. Okay. I've put up in the right hand corner here the mark scheme and that we're going to be looking at. So when we mark your paper, this has the mark bands. So you can see what it is you're going to be, if you're going to get a really low score, this is what you're going to be, the reason why. Okay, you are always going to be looking at these top 3, mark band 3, mark band 4. This is always going to be what it is you go to. I will always be hoping that you look at these 2 mark bands as the go-to area. Okay, this gives you what it is you need to be looking at. That is the main area that it is I want you to be looking at. Okay, I hope you find that really useful. I'm going to give you probably a week to be doing this. I want to see a really good progression throughout this week, what it is you're going to be doing. Okay, so I want to see this time next week, possibly next Tuesday, I want to see the page complete. I want you to hand it to me so that I can go through each area and give you areas to maybe focus on when you come to do this. You can make the corrections, you can make it better. I will be giving you areas to work on to make it better. You can always email me. You can always ask me for help. Okay, I will be always on hand to give you help. I want you to be using my knowledge and other people's. Okay, so you can use the head of department. You can use the other design technology teachers, okay, to give you help on this. Okay, but your first port of call is obviously people at home. Okay, your other colleagues that are doing this. Okay, the other people in the class. Okay, and always me. Okay, I am always here to help you. I want you to hand this in. Obviously, next week, we are always going to be doing the 1 page per week that it is you're doing. All right. I'm going to save this and you can access it on the YouTube channel. So DT is Mr. Sanders, the YouTube channel. And also this will be on my own website. Okay. It will be sent to you on email as well. So you have no excuse to have my ugly face and always there for you. So I'm going to leave it there. Okay, 30 minutes of this, and you will be obviously looking at this always. Good luck with this, and thank you for watching it. Okay, and I will stop it there. Well done, guys. Good luck with it. As that stops.